Everybody, it's David. It's the week of, I don't even know what week it is. It's May 20th, and I am taking a moment on a Wednesday to give you our Rector update. We decided as a staff team that it would be better for this to be sort of midweek rather than towards the end of the week. So today I'm with Ryan Goyer, who's our communications coordinator. Ryan, what are you up to this week?
So I'm actually in North Carolina in the Outer Banks
Nice.
this week. So working remotely out here, which has been a pretty good deal, although there has been a tropical storm this week, which will continue until the end of the week. So,
Any particular reason you went on down to North Carolina?
just to see the sights. No, hanging out with my fiance and her family, which has been really fun.
Woohoo! Fiance! Awesome. That's cool. Well, Ryan, one of the projects that you're working on is our new website. And I just wanted to ask you, when people open up our new website, which will happen probably this fall, what are you most excited about them seeing?
Yeah, I think probably the most exciting thing for people will be the first time they open it up, and it's just going to look really different.
Hmm.
It's going to look like it's 2020 on our website, and our website has caught up to that. But we've got a team of people that are working really hard on just a really sharp design that's going to convey more effectively to people who haven't been to the church kind of who we are. So that first time opening it up and seeing that new look, I think is going to be really exciting for people.
That's awesome. Is there any part of it that's just been kind of like a drag? Like, is it get tedious as you're making a new website?
Yeah. So basically every week, you and me have this time for like an hour
What?
where we're on Zoom and we're just filling out this database together, adding keywords to all the sermons.
Yeah.
Um, and that also means I spent some time adding some information on my own.
Hmm.
The end goal of it, being able to search through all the sermons over the past few years, will be really worth it, but it is definitely tedious right now.
Yeah, man, when we get to the end of one of those sessions and I'm like, well, only 360 to go. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. But
Yep.
I am excited about all those sermons being easily accessible. So thanks for working on that.
Yeah, yeah. And so you hosted the first ever virtual Living God's Story at Restoration dinner last night. How did that go?
Yeah, well, first of all, it wasn't a dinner, and we missed sort of getting to have dinner together in our fellowship hall. But we had probably 15 people who wanted to hear more about the church and more about how we got to this point, and that was really exciting just to see those new people.
Yeah, and so did you get to hear any cool stories of people getting connected to Restoration?
Yeah, actually, I was surprised. Like, we went around the screen at the beginning, and I said, "Hey, how did you end up here tonight?" And a few people said someone had texted me the link for morning prayer or evening prayer, and so I tried that out and really liked it, and decided I'd check you out on Sunday, and then here I am tonight. And I just felt that was really encouraging. Like, that is a thing of redemption out of this coronavirus, because never expected that we would have morning prayer and evening prayer every day, and now we've done it for 2 months, and just really grateful that that's being used to invite more people into our community.
Yeah, it's been such a cool new rhythm for people, I think. I have one more question.
Sure.
So I remember it was called the New to Restoration Dinner. How did it evolve into Living God's Story at Restoration, which is great, but kind of a mouthful.
Yeah, it is totally. And I think even for us who've been around, we're like, all right, what is it? What is this thing? And we're trying to connect people to our vision. Our vision is that we're broken people restored by grace, living God's story. And what we want is that if restoration is your church home, that there is a story that God is writing in your life, and our church is going to be a part of it. And so as we help you connect to God, to others, to the needs of the world, you are getting woven into this story and living it together with us. We live in such a transient area. Sometimes people just live it together for a while, then they move on to their next thing. But while you're here and while you're a part of our community, we want you to have that strong sense that you live in God's story with us.
Wow. Okay. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So it is a mouthful, but at least it captures it's a little bit tighter connection to our vision.
Yeah, definitely.
So another new thing that we've done in this coronavirus is we're obviously streaming Sunday services, and you've taken on a new role. So you're not taking Sundays off. You're now working for us on Sundays. You're in the sanctuary running a camera. What's the hardest part about running a camera for YouTube Live?
Yeah, that's been definitely a new thing, but it has been fun. I think probably one of the hardest parts is not moving, actually. Like, I'm someone who kind of has some nervous energy all the time, and the camera is kind of like the tripod is put onto like three different parts of two pews. And so
Yeah.
anytime I like move just a little bit, the camera shakes. And so I have to try to remain like completely still as I'm moving it around and trying to get different angles.
Yeah, well, I move a lot too, and you're usually trying to chase me as as I'm preaching, and I can see Isaiah like, hold still. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So we got time for one more thing before we go.
Yeah. Before that, can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming parish meeting we're having?
Oh yeah, well, I felt like that's probably the one more thing we need to say.
Probably.
So June 7th and June 9th, we're going to have two parish meetings. We'll have the same agenda for both. We're hoping that one being at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, the other being at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, that one of those times is going to work for us and work for your household in whatever environment you're in. We will answer questions. We'll talk about sort of what we think is coming up next. I decided to host my Rector update outside today because it's a little bit of a preview of, I think, where we're going this summer, that there'll be opportunities for us to gather in person, but they're going to probably need to be outside. So thinking about how we might do a Eucharist outside or how a small group might meet outside. We are trying to imagine how some outdoor things could happen this summer that would allow us to see each other and still worship some together, but do it in a safe environment. So thanks for asking. Looking forward to all the work that's going together. So we have some good information for you on June 7th and June 9th for our parish meeting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really cool touch point for people after we're really just figuring things out as we go, to be able to come together and just figure out a little bit more about where God has taken us during this time.
Yeah. Well, man, I hope the rain holds off today and you guys get to get outside down there. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thanks, David.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for this week's installment of the Rector Update. To stay up to date with our next broadcast, announcements, and weekly Rector updates, go ahead and hit subscribe and click the bell icon below. And for more information about upcoming events and what's going on with the life of our church, we encourage you to also follow us on our Instagram feed. We look forward to seeing you this week or on Sunday.